Hey family, so today we're going to take a look at why you met this person. We're going to confirm that it is in fact for love and romance. We want to see what is the karma surrounding the situation, what is the outcome. So just in general, why you met somebody. Some of you, it may slip in. I'm not looking for platonic relationships, but if it slips in, I'll let you know. But just in general, I want to see what's going on with this specific person, the specific connection. And for those of you that don't have anyone in mind, don't worry about it. Don't stress it, because you can also use this for incoming energy to see who's coming towards you and why, right? When we talk about all of these karmic contracts, soul contracts, lessons you're meant to fulfill through these people. Let's see who this is and all of the things like that. All right. This is one of those readings where I do have to give the disclaimer for those of you that are new. I do read and channel past, present, as well as incoming energy. I read a polarity, which means there's a light as well as a shadow. You just have to find yourself in the lesson and the journey. And it's very important. Generally, I don't always say it these days, but this is the type of reading where that message is necessary, because I don't know what's going to come out or how. All right. Okay, so I'm going to hold it up now and you're going to choose your sorbets. And pile number 1 is the banana sorbet, or vegan ice cream as people call it nowadays for whatever reason. Pile number 2 is the raspberry sorbet. Pile number 3 is the orange sorbet. And then pile number 4 is the matcha sorbet. I'll give you a moment to make your selection. And if you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, my pile number 1, my banana sorbet. Let's see why you met this person. Confirming the love, possibly duration of love, like if it's supposed to be long-term, short-term, whatever. Any karmic lessons, outcomes associated with this connection. All right. I'm already feeling like this is going to be a pile where this person's coming, they're coming in. So you may be that group that tries to get me. You don't have anyone in mind. You're completely unattached. I love it. So my phone started to ring right when I said that. And that's odd and interesting. I may or may not have left it in. It just depends on how I'm feeling, but it was weird, and it's letting me know that like you're 100% in sync with this person right now, whether you know who this is or not, like whether it's someone you have on your mind or if you have somebody you're like, who's coming in, right? What's coming in for me in terms of soul contracts. This person's going to awaken you to something, right? I mentioned that they're going to change your perspective in some way, because people have been eating sorbet literally forever. But I know everyone's trying to be a lot more health conscious. People are looking for non-dairy alternatives to like ice cream and things like that. So over the last several years, people have really been leaning into this banana, like freezing the bananas and making ice cream, quote unquote, from that. And they've been calling it vegan ice cream, but like, I guess that's what it is. But you get what I'm saying? It's like an interesting perspective. It's like you put a little vanilla extract in it, and now it's branded a different way. People are identifying it in a different way, even though it's the same thing it's always been, and the same texture and consistency it's always been. Just the perspective and the usage of what it is different. Like that, I feel like that's what this person's coming in or has come in to do to you. Just completely blow your mind and make you see something that may be mundane, regular, day to day, and just alter your whole reality in a way where you're like, that's crazy. I might let that phone stay in. I may lower it a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Give me an overview for this. Pile number 1. The banana sorbet. Why did you meet this person? I will say this. This is based on what I've already channeled and am experiencing while I'm in Pals energy. You will not be the same person after this person. Like this is 100% a soul contract meant to change you. If it's for, even if it's for a short time, even if it's short term and passionate, it's going to change you. Authority feels like, and look, exactly, authority and realization. It's like your mind, it's like judgment. It's like you can't go back to who you were, right? The things you've seen, the things you now know and understand, you can't unlearn that. It doesn't have to be as chaotic as it sounds. It doesn't have to be bad at all. It's just like my perspective has completely shifted. Just like your sorbet, right? Like it's just bananas. It's frozen bananas as a little treat. And now people are like blowing everybody's minds. Like, I don't need dairy anymore to have ice cream. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. This may be, you definitely have a divine feminine coming in, right? This is either someone that you could identify with divine feminine energy, or they will awaken, right? And help you further ascend your divine feminine energy. All right, so what is that? I've got origin. So the key theme of this conception card talks about origin and where everything begins, and it talks about remembering the infinite potential and possibilities. Okay, this person's gonna blow your mind, or that's what they're here to do. And if they're already doing it, then you're aligned. You're definitely in your right place, right space. Let me see. Especially when we start talking about divine feminine energy, okay? Like it is something. So let's put you here. And there we go. All right, let me get your tarot so we can further develop this energy. I love how this first pile came through. I think this is an interesting thing. But definitely conception is an awakening. It's a birthing of a divine feminine. So when we talk about people and how they interact with each other, like what you're meant to teach each other, this is an awakening of a divine feminine. Okay? I don't care about how you identify or anything like that. Awakening the divine feminine. Honestly, when we talk about love, this actually could be one of those soul contracts where we see a contract to birth a child, right? You see how I'm getting that, where I'm seeing conception? Like this could be a soul contract to create a life, or how do you word it when you like, I guess, enhance a life, right? Two people that come together to either, like where you're not actually creating a person, like let's say you adopt, you're meant to raise somebody, all right? Okay, so I've got the Six of Pentacles, which talks about spiritual and material prosperity. When I talk about giving, right, this is something about giving. This is something about nurturing. This is the charitable giving pile. I told you, like, even where you're not, like where this isn't a group that's gonna have a soul contract where you're creating a life together, it's enhancing someone else's lives or multiple people's lives with this charitable giving energy. And one of you is going to give the other more. Not I don't like wording it like that. One of you is going to teach the other more. The other is going to give and enhance more. It feels like it's going to balance out, because someone's going to enhance someone on the spiritual side. Someone's going to enhance someone on the material side. Okay. I don't like how I'm wording it, but I'm going to try to tighten up. Okay. I promise I'm going to tighten up the way I'm giving this message. Okay, y'all always hear me say that's the Prince and the Pauper card. Let me see. Yeah, I got the throat chakra. And I've got, yeah, exactly. So speaking, teaching, communicating, prosperity. Okay. Feels like someone teaching someone to be prosperous, giving someone support on where to go and how to move, right? When we talk about planting seeds and starting and starting things that are going to be fruitful long term, we have a communicating of that. So what is at the bottom? We got a moving on of the Six of Swords. okay, which talks about that ascension. It talks about that awakening and that growth. It's the journey that when you reach the destination, you're definitely not who you were when you set sail. Okay, so tell me more about this pile number 1, this banana sorbet. What is that? Why did you meet this person? Is it love? What's the karmic contract here? What is the outcome? Okay. And for those of you where you don't have anyone in mind, this person's definitely incoming. It's a soul contract for ascension to help elevate one another, especially where someone is void of course. I don't normally read that card like that, but it feels like someone was or is void of course. When we see nothing will come of the situation, kind of stagnant, to awaken. Okay, like it's gonna take either a divine feminine to awaken someone or someone to awaken a divine feminine. That's what it feels like. Okay, and I have the adjustments that need to happen here. Okay, that ascension. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. We're just gonna keep pulling cards until we don't have any more. Yeah, you know, I'm glad I grabbed those tea leaves because I would not have had enough cards to get this message. So tell me more about my banana sorbet, please. Why did you meet this person? Who is this incoming and why? Pretty straightforward. This is a divine feminine or someone that will awaken your divine feminine. Help you enhance your life in the best way. Teach you how to love from joy, from pleasure. Teach you how to experience life from joy, from pleasure. Where it's been stale. I need 2. Okay, yeah, 2 more then. Okay. There we go. Mars is your energy. Sagittarius is where we learn and ascend and evolve. Okay, so yeah, this feels like someone that's supposed to put you on your spiritual journey. There's a lot of Leo energy here because yeah, that fits. Leo is our house 5, joy and pleasure. It's our personality. It's how we express ourselves. Mars is where we're very active in that. Sagittarius is where we're eager to learn ways to be better at that. Just learning and ascending just in general, especially when we talk about spirituality. But there's something that's void. Someone here is void of course and needs to be adjusted. And this person is here to awaken you. Okay, I'm saying you, but remember I read the polarity. I said it in the intro. You may be the awakening for that person. Okay, let me get more. I got 2 stacks of these tea leaves. Why'd you meet this person? Give me a few. Okay. Okay. It fell off camera, but I'm gonna grab it. I promise. I'm gonna take this, slide these over. I'll grab a few more because the first one that threw itself actually on the tea leaf book is the younger woman. It says dealings or relationship with a younger woman. So this person may be teaching you something about dealing with a younger woman. I don't know. This person may be a younger woman. Okay. But dealings or relationship with a younger woman. I have fly, a period of ill health or depression. All right, I got an ant here of working, achievement, and success. Some of you, this could be a younger woman, this divine feminine, here to help you through work, help you through success, help you through illness and depression. Okay. Others of you, this person could be, if that younger woman is you, this is to awaken you if you are void of course through ill health and depression. If you need to be streamlined to work success, that's what this person's purpose is. Some of you, this is not even romantic. I'm realizing that's why they didn't give me those cards. But I am looking where we're here where you're just completely open. You're like, I don't know who this is coming in. Some of you, it's just someone that's going to help get you together. Okay. It's someone that's going to help get you together. I got an empty chair, someone leaving your life, and I got a boat. and I got a Tower. Okay, some of you, this person's gonna come in, completely blow your mind, and then go away forever. Okay, here the boat talks about money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. I associate that with like obviously gambling and things like that. There's a lot of like casinos that are boats. I have a Tower, which talks about a solid foundation and success with effort. Why is this like that? What's this? Oh, okay, there's 2 cards. Lighthearted, carefree time. Oh, I'm looking off camera. Don't worry about me. Yeah, let me see what else I can get from this little stack. I mean, what else we need to know about this energy? I got a cat, which is a two-faced friend. Oh, well, yeah. Okay. And then I got a heart, a deep love. A love, deep affection, and caring. Okay. Some of you, this younger woman, where we're talking literal, I'm just going to leave with that one first, is here to teach you, is here to awaken your divine feminine energy by being, I guess, the pest, right? We got flies, we got ants, we associate those energies kind of with pests. And then we have a two-faced friend. So we talking about somebody that was like really two-faced, okay? They were here to shock you, awaken you, and all the things so that you could learn true, pure love, okay? Because something about it, you avoid a course. And by you being void of course, this younger woman completely transform you to make you back on track with this, right? Because when we talk about Leo 5th house energy, it talks about who we're supposed to be and where we're supposed to be, what we are naturally versus where we're trying to fit some sort of a mold, okay? So that's why that's like that. And that's why that karmic contract ended after that, okay? And then let's see what else I'm seeing here. It got real quiet. Okay, I think that was it for that message. Maybe I need to pull more tea leaves to get it. It's just like, I'm just like, okay, what else? I don't know what else. What is this? I got a bow. You're highly thought of. Okay. Some of you need to know that person thinks highly of you. Okay. And then, I mean, I don't know what else to do. What's going on with my pile ones? Everything just kind of shut down. Is that what happened? Is that how you ended up void of course? Or maybe this person's void of course? Because what happened? I lost everything. That's not normal. Some of you, it is a very traumatic situation. Let me get Melanin Pop because I'm not used to this. I'm going to grab Melanin Pop real quick. Yeah, I don't care if this is a little bit longer. It's fine. Because this, I don't want to be like, okay, it's confusing. Bye. Take your advice and go. What is this? Why did my pile 1 meet this person? Is it love? What's the karma? What's the outcome? The outcome is inheritance. The outcome is great karma, by the way, because it feels like someone that was void of course, off track, being forced back on path for the best in the most amazing way, okay? Because there was some adjustments that had to happen. So what's going on with this banana sorbet? What's the karma, the outcome of this soul contract? Yeah, you're going to get commitment, engagement, ring, promises, love, planning for the future. Okay, where we're talking about a love interest specifically that you're asking about, this is going to be your person. I mentioned there's a soul contract where there needs to be, where there's a child actively ready to come into this world, already assigned to y'all. That's here where we talk about this commitment. Okay. Tell me more. Give me space. Time apart boundaries, no contact. Thief. Ooh, watch that though. Yeah. If we're talking about there's a soul contract here to bring chaos to somebody's life in a way to elevate them spiritually. And Some of you, maybe it was platonic. I do see some really hyper competitive energy between feminines, right? And I'm not saying that it can't be romantic. It doesn't. It feels like, okay, so like, let's say it's romantic and we're talking lesbians, right? It's got to be 3 of y'all, because 2 on the table would have been hyper, like there's somebody on the table that's like hyper competitive with another one, and it's awakening the divine feminine in both, right? Because one is learning, I guess, boundaries, and the other is learning to not be like that. Okay? Because where we're talking romantic connections, beware of a younger feminine, right? Because I'm seeing where after some type of a commitment, there is a no contact, and the no contact feels very used. So like at the end of the thing, the person on the receiving end of this younger feminine is left basically not with nothing, but like there is some stealing, some ulterior motives here that maybe someone was blinded by lust and attraction. I don't know who I'm talking about. Some of y'all are asking all kinds of questions, but that's what's on the table regarding some situation. It's a karmic contract, and it is what y'all call karmic, where it's chaos, because it's like, okay, commitment, everything is good, and then boom, it's no contact and chaos because someone was not who they were portraying themselves to be. And it's associated with the younger feminine because that's the only real personality that came out of the tea leaves. I want to grab, why not? I'll grab like 2 more tea leaves and then I'll get your advice and close you out. Okay. Apples are here. Temptation. I know I'm not. Look, I'm not making this up. Time apart is on here 2 times. Temptation will test you. That's some of you need to be told that. Okay, I'm gonna get 1 more and your advice. What house is that? Don't let, watch that when we're talking about your career and stuff. And also watch your leg. I don't know who needs to be, because we have stepping into a new experience, but like I'm holding it like this. Watch your leg, okay? But something about temptation is testing you and it affecting your career. You better watch that when we talk about this younger feminine. I don't know what else to tell you. And I know I have a largely feminine audience. Remember, everybody's welcome here. All sexualities, all genders. So if you know this is a romantic message, you better still beware. But if you are straight and this younger feminine popped out and you're like, I'm open, yeah, I'm asking about this love person, but I'm also at like, who's coming in, watch it. There is a younger feminine that is here. Seems to be a karmic lesson. If I'm not mistaken, when we talk about younger feminines and both parties are straight, it feels like this younger feminine might be more of a mirror of you a little bit, in the worst way. Almost like it might be a karmic, like this may be your karma. Like not in a, you being punished. It's not like that. It's just there's a pest on the table and it says temptation will test you regarding your career. Okay. And obviously if you're masculine watching this, don't be dealing with younger feminines, especially at your job. Okay. Because that's a thing on my table. So, all right. Watch it with y'all's career because that came out in multiple cards. Multiple cards. Now, that doesn't have to be bad. It's just that although pests came through. Going back to the lighter energy because I do want to tie it together now that everything has come back and it's clear. Some of you, a divine feminine will awaken you. And it's going to deeply benefit your career. You get what I'm saying? So like, where we're not talking about karmic lessons. Like if you're asking about somebody you consider to be divine feminine. And it's not all this chaos. It might not even be a younger feminine. Right? You just know like, this does not feel chaotic. This doesn't feel bad. There's no red flags. It's basically like this person's here to help ascend you on your career and in your journey. And if you're the divine feminine that's being awakened by a connection, This is someone that's here to help mature you, okay? Like, even if you're not a younger feminine, right? Identifying as a divine feminine, like let's say you're asking about somebody that is your age, or someone comes in that is your age or younger, and we're talking romantic. This is to mature you. There's this level of maturity that needs to happen, hence why the ascension is necessary. This is someone that's going to elevate you, and it is going to benefit your career because there's a certain immaturity on the table. All right, let me get your advice. We cleaned it up. I was worried, but we cleaned it up. All right, shifting your perspective, so much so that I was having trouble reading it, okay, because it's kind of foreign to us. All right, so tell me what advice we've got for my banana sorbet. Prioritize your happiness. If you've been doing that, you're already on path, okay? You're already on path, because happiness is mature and I have wisdom, okay? The wise thing is to prioritize your happiness and to choose paths and situations and relationships that align with that and who you actually are, okay? All right, thank you for watching. All right, part 2, my raspberry sorbet. We're gonna take a look at why you met this person. Is it for love? And then we're just gonna take a look at any karma, the outcome of the situation, like what you can expect based on the contract. So I'm already, after part 1, I'm realizing some of y'all are bringing your chaotic exes. I'm not against it, right? When we talk about the light and shadow, like I mentioned in the intro, that absolutely, I guess, can be used for that. That's just not where my head was, right? Where we're talking about like why you met this person in the most chaotic way historically. I don't know that I was thinking that, but okay. All right, we'll hop into it. Also, the other reason why I'm mentioning that was not because of the previous power, just because as I was cleansing my tea leaves, y'all know they're not that friendly to me. For this pile, I got the wheel in reverse and October. So the wheel's gonna flip in October. So if you're asking about or for shadow reasons, like if there's like someone specific, you're like, I don't know why I met this person and I don't know, blah 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 blah, and it's bad, the wheel's gonna turn in October, okay? All right. But the main goal here is to see why you met a specific person. Possibly, like I said, you can use it in the worst way, but is it in the best way to confirm maybe a love connection, a divine masculine, feminine, right? Divine union. You can also use this where you don't have anyone specific in mind to see who's coming towards you and why. And the why is realization and belief based. Okay. So I'm gonna just put this down and move this here. But the why, I'll tell you what, we're at a different angle. So let me move us, right? Switching up your beliefs, right? Help you realize some things, whether about yourself or just life or your purpose. But that is this person's purpose. That was this person's purpose. So when we start talking about that shadow side of the what's their karma, the whole purpose of this person was to make you realize what it is you desire, what it is you like, to open up your receiving side, make you realize that you were closed off and blocked in your sacral chakra, because the only reason why you were even aligned with whatever behavior that was unfavorable was because you aligned with what was unfavorable. I know people don't like it when we say that, but there is a certain accountability element with the people that we allow into our space, right? And people are super manipulative and all things, but there's certain realizations and beliefs that stopped you from seeing things clearly in the way that they're supposed to be. Okay, so light and shadow are very similar in not the experience, but the message, right? So those of you that came through with that shadow just want to know why that happened or whatever. The whole reason that person came in was the very definition of what everybody is calling a karmic, right? When people use the word karmic nowadays, that's exactly what that person was, because they were a test and they were a distraction meant to help you realize what it is your spirit team has kind of been screaming at you to fix. Now, the lighter side of the pile is the same thing, is this person's kind of like a physical manifestation of your spirit team, in that they're here to show you what you can't quite hear for yourself. So if you're the type that's manifesting, if you're the type that's praying, you're like, I want to be better, there's something I'm not quite doing right because I'm not seeing the results I want, this person's here to help support you on that journey. So it's like when we pray for support, sometimes it comes in a literal person. So it's kind of an angel devil feel already of the pile. So let me pull more, right? Yeah, I got the Lovers here. Harmony. They're here to restore harmony. And I say that because the shadow is this person's there to distract you, to show you that there is in fact distractions on your path, right? That was the whole point of it being a negative experience, if that's what you're asking about, was to help you realize like the issues that were there long before that person. They just brought it out. Does that make sense? That's why it was so chaotic or bad or whatever. But like I said, the lighter side is this person's just here. It's kind of like, I don't want to say a teacher, because it doesn't have to be that intense. It's just like you ask for support and the universe kind of gave you a lover in a form that could support you in that way. Or that's what's coming in. So be mindful of how you're managing your energy, because the angel devil side of this pile, either side can be what's incoming. For those of you that are open and just trying to see who's coming towards you and why. If you don't listen to your spirit team, if you don't listen to your own intuition, you could be on the brink of a karmic, you know, a connection that will force you to face those aspects of yourself that you've been avoiding. So watch that. We've got the heartache and loss, which talks about everything that we've said, and it's a maturing energy. So most of you here are historical when we talk about that shadow and the lessons. Like most of the people that are on the bad side of the pile, you've already experienced it. That's the whole reason why I left out. Okay, help you see all of the wounds of your heart that you've either not realized, that you were actively avoiding, where your sacral was completely blocked and you just needed to unlock it so that you could truly and fully enjoy life, right? Because it feels like a person that's not really enjoying life. So tell me more about this raspberry sorbet. What else? Can you tell me? Look at that angel devil. That shadow was prominent. Some of y'all really need to know why that was like that. I mean, I told you at the beginning the gist of how they came to be, but what I love about that lighter side, I want to move on to, because we'll go back to that past energy. I don't want to lose my people that are wondering what's incoming or asking about someone right now that they're not sure about, right? I'll touch on that shadow one more time incoming because it's still there, right? Like you could be awakened through temptation and heartache and loss. So beware, okay? Where you know you have certain tendencies and habits and avoidance, just be mindful of that, okay? If you have a history of heartache and loss, if you have a history of temptation, if you have a history of a lack of discernment, and you've been praying for discernment, it feels like the lighter side has been praying for discernment, praying for support. This person is here to be solid in that sense, right? Saturn and it is the ruler of Capricorn, right? So when we talk about the Lord of Karma, we have it here in the Devil card, okay? When we talk about healing from heartache and loss, ways to avoid heartache and loss, okay? So give me one more on the bottom. Look at that, fertility, okay? And the fertility card is the Empress, right? We talk about divine feminine energy. Some of you may be watching more than one. The topic is interesting, so I'll give you that. But this combination feels like an overextending. So if you're a divine feminine that overextends, that's why that shadow stepped in. If you are a person that has a tendency to overextend when you feel like you're in the presence of a divine feminine, same vibe, okay? Either side. Now what's at the bottom? We got that wisdom that comes from that, okay? You got 3 out of 4 cards that are major arcana in this deck, okay? And all 3 talk about higher power, talks about lessons, talks about spirit guides, actually, because I'm going to talk about the devil. When we talk about the Hierophant, like it talks about your higher self. It talks about your hidden shadow. Okay. The aspects of yourself that you have to face so that you don't try to overly control and cling. I don't like how this is, but these cards are a lot larger than I'm used to nowadays. But we're working it out, okay? And both of these are ruled by the sign of Taurus, just so those of you that like to know are aware, okay? Pay attention to your assets, your money, and things like that, because the sign of Taurus does rule your second house. And then when we talk about the sign of Capricorn ruling your career, those are areas and themes just to keep in mind when dealing with this person. Now, the best part about it is it feels like someone that's supposed to help you ascend in that way on the lightest side. So I'm going to pull more and see if we can cut more. I know that the shadow is a prominent past energy. I know that much. And that the people that are more likely to have that shadow incoming have already had it. It means you didn't learn the lesson the first time, if that makes sense, or the second time. What is that? Tell me about this raspberry sorbet. Let me see. Hold on. Give me a second. There we go. Why'd you meet this person? Is it love? It is love. Okay. It's to learn how to love yourself mostly. What is the karma? What do you need to release? Waning moon. See? And having faith in your dreams. Waxing crescent moon. You know, confidence in yourself, believing in yourself, releasing your need to your need for approval outside of yourself, right? Like being confident in yourself, right? Like if you have a negative experiences romantically, it's because you're being taught to have faith in yourself, right? Find value in yourself. So I'm going to keep pulling, but I will develop this a little further. I'm not going to just leave it like that. And I still have these tea leaves. So, and don't forget, like something about that shadow is a turning of, there's a turn. There's a wheel turning in October. I don't know why. We have a conjunction. Healing from this, because some of you I'm realizing are on the lighter and the shadow side. Like the shadow is your past, the lighter is incoming. It's like that sometimes because it's still your story, right? Releasing and clearing that historical energy is aligning you with the union. So you do have a divine counterpart, right? In a form of a soulmate incoming, or the person that's new that you're asking about, because that is also the distinguishing energy. Is the lighter side here is new. The end is new. It's not any heavy baggage. It's a new person you're meant to go into union with, and it's meant to be good. You ascend spiritually together. You're very stable. You're very comfortable. You're very confident. Your light and shadow work in harmony versus against each other, right? Because the sextile card talks about a combination of tension and flow, and it says potential and a rewarding situation where you see huge potential for union, where you see compatibility, right? Where things look very, very promising. Not wishful thinking, but very, very promising. Early stages with the waxing crescent. That's where you're being encouraged. And the karma is a good, stable, long-term thing. Okay? So, I think I'm going to go to tea leaves next, then melon pop. What else does my pile number 2 need to know about this person? Why did they meet this person? A maturing vine. Seek out information that will help. What did I say? You've been seeking. I'm telling you, the lightest side is you were manifesting, you were praying, you were saying, why am I stuck? Why can't I ascend? Right? Like I'm missing something and I don't know what it is. I need to realize what it is. And you have belief in what you were asking for. This person is here to help you on your journey. Okay? It does feel long term. compliments from an admirer, especially if we're talking about someone that is admiring you or that you've been admiring in a way that it is mutual, someone that may have complimented you or that compliments you. Okay. Okay, I got a bird flying. News is on the way. Hey, look at you. This person's here to bring you news, information. Let me get one more from here. And I got a seahorse of family matters. Feels like someone that's meant to be in your family, okay? I know I'm very specific in the language that I use because sometimes I see soul contracts where you're meant to come together and form a family, right? And I do see instances that hint to that, by the way. But this soul contract is actually different from the other one that I saw, in that the other one was more you're meant to have a child together regardless of whatever else occurs. How two is this person on the lightest end is meant, it has to be lightest end, because I would not be allowing myself to channel a relationship that you stuck in like forever and miserable, because Hierophant is a marriage card. Okay, when we talk about Saturn and Capricorn elements in love and romance, those are long-term indicators. That's two people that are stuck together. You bind it. Okay, and so I do see indicators of children, but with family matters here, yeah, it feels like someone where the soul contract between you and this person, in the lighter sense, is gonna be that you merge into that family. Yes, possibly have a child where that makes sense to be a part of the actual bloodline, but that you're supposed to be a part of this family. Okay, whoever that is. And maybe where those of you where there's gonna be actual children involved, I see a son. Okay, specifically a son. But it's gonna be happiness and well-being, because even the spirit guides are like, no, we're backing you. We would not be telling them that the soul contract is forever, where it's not good. And that's another indicator. It's not gonna be miserable. So if it's miserable, or if it was miserable, it's definitely not gonna be a thing, right? Protection from a powerful friend. Like, this is a really powerful person, someone that's very protective over you. This person was sent to protect you in some way. Okay, especially when we talk about my divine feminines. This is a strong, powerful person. I don't necessarily mean materially, but I mean like energetically. And then the flag here talks about don't be tempted to lower your standards. So okay, there we go, where the light and shadow meet. That I mentioned, the healing of the sacral and receiving what you deserve, right? Not settling for less, not realizing where you just align with that energy. Any karmic connections, historical, yeah. And now I'm doing the thing where I feel like I'm cleansing my heart space, which makes sense. I see her on the card there. It feels like you learning your worth, your value, your ability to not overextend and still be valued, because this new person, the incoming connection, right? We're talking about who's coming towards your way and why. They're going to be very supportive of you, very protective of you, very considerate of your happiness. And you're going to realize you don't have to settle. You don't have to lower your standards to experience that. Okay? Because that's going to be the telltale sign of the shadow is, yeah, I love it. I'm going to pull more before I get to Melanin Pop, because I feel like I like where we are real quick. This is the end of that cycle of settling, right? I notice I'll lead with feminine energy. Most of y'all are here, okay? They say men choose, women accept, and it really is true. I find that this is an energy of someone that kind of settles, like, well, they didn't check off all 10 of my boxes, but maybe they checked off 4. Let me go for it. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't you shouldn't be flexible in your approach to love. I'm saying your deal breakers are non-negotiable for a reason. And every time you try to like overlook a deal breaker, you might get burned, right? Because this is more than one person, I feel, for this group. The shadow side is you overlook the critical non-negotiable for you, and it bit you in the butt. Okay? Like you go back, you look, you're like, I had a non-negotiable that I overlooked for this person. You should never be overlooking a non-negotiable. Whether it's wanting children, could be one, since we're already on that topic. Okay, some of y'all are like, I don't want pets, but you got a pet with this one. Knowing you hate pets, you hate dogs, whatever the thing is, you lack boundaries. You see what I'm saying? Why you in relationships where you're having to do things you absolutely don't want to do? I'm not talking about healthy compromise. I'm saying like you have non-negotiables on your list of things you want in a partner, and you letting your hard nose turn into maybes. That's a teaching moment, right? That's a test. I mentioned this person was here to put you off path, to test you, to see if how firm your boundaries are, how strong your boundaries are. Especially when we talk about those of you that like to manifest. You can't manifest without firm boundaries, because again, I always say it, universe don't know if you're coming or going, right? The universe doesn't know if you really want what you say you want, because your yes is not a yes, and your no is not an absolutely not. You know, your yes is a sometimes, your no is a maybe for this one. You see what I'm saying? That's the lesson. Okay. And if once you master that, where your yes is a yes and your no is an absolutely not, someone going out of your life, the end of a situation, boom, for the best, for the highest good. What's this month? We have a month at the top. July. We're in July right now. Something might be ending right now. Some of you are closing that cycle real time. Don't worry about my timeline. If I say right now, I mean right now for you, because this is my time, right? So right now for me is July. Right now for you is wherever you are. Realizing this so that you're no longer in that shadow end of the pile. I love it. So tell me more about this raspberry. And look, you will be playing a different role with the hat. You're going to be somebody else. You're going to be doing what you want to be doing instead of bending and changing. If you change who you are for your partners, if every partner you're with, you were a different person. If you're the type of person that takes on your partners or friends' hobbies, it's like you don't necessarily have an identity of your own. I'm not like calling you names and like being crazy or mean to you. But that's the karmic lesson of how you end up in the Three of Swords is you play roles. So your interests become your partner of the time's interests, your friends of the time's interests, instead of like you're you yourself all the time, right? So when we have a consistent identity, whoever we meet, we just, you know, the hobbies we have with them are extra, right? When they leave our lives, we can still do those things if we're interested in them. But we also had our own thing we were doing before them. Feels like you don't do that. And that's the argument you're having with your spirit team, okay? I got a bear, which says danger, especially in money matters, especially if you overextend financially to be with partners romantically. Stop that immediately. Okay. Let me get this melanin pop and then close you out. I think you're pretty good. But this new one is going to be really generous. Okay. Tell me, my raspberry sorbet. Why did you meet this person? I think we did a good job of determining the light and the shadow. So, lighter side, why did you meet this person? I know you're supposed to be part of this family. Okay, and I like the way that I'm wording everything, because I feel like it could still be, it still could be platonic, right? Like you still could, like you meet your friends and like now you're a member of that family. Like, you know, if you really friends with somebody, you know their family. We have individuality. Okay, this is everything I just said. So I'm not going to repeat the lesson of the shadow, but you've learned this person to help you find yourself, realize who you are, right? Where it's been hidden from you. and for them to support you in that. You know, incoming energy of trapped, where you realizing where you've been trapped, where you've been holding yourself back, where you've been overextending, where you've been drained, where you've been draining. Okay, this person's just here to unlock you. I want to get one more in the bottom. Where you've been letting people just leech on and drain you. Okay, I got the bottom. I have the twin flame card. They're here to mirror you. So for better, for worse, right? This person's going to be here to mirror you. The lighter side is to help you realize this historically happened, okay, and help you grow and evolve beyond it. Because sometimes we do need to compare and contrast. Sometimes that is the mirror, is you don't really know what good is if you've not experienced bad. That's not for everybody, and that's not for every situation, connection, but you know you're being treated well when you've been on the opposite end of that spectrum. I can say that with certainty. And that's kind of one of the karmic lessons you had historically in the shadow of this group. But I do like to be able to say, in all of the shadow of this pile, some of you have met or meeting a divine counterpart. Somebody that you will want to use that twin flame label with. Okay? But it's after the shadow, for sure. Okay? So tell me, what advice do we have for my raspberry sorbet? You gotta cut ties though. Where is it? Give me abstract. Yes. Someone is going out of your life, or the end of the situation. A low vibrational thievery energy where you're stuck, where you lack of individuality, where you're changing who you are to be around this person, to have this person around, where you're not authentically you, where you can't be authentically you, where you're overlooking non-negotiables. You gotta cut ties. Okay? Cut ties with who you're pretending to be, who you're not. But there's definitely someone that you may have associated with that twin flame label at some point that you have to cut ties with, so that you can step onto this and do not hide, right? So cut ties with this energy and do not conceal yourself. Be open with this new energy, okay? Cut ties and go out. Cut ties and take off your mask, okay? All right, so I'm going to move on to pile number 3. All right, my pile number 3, let me straighten you up. Yeah, exactly. You can see cards already on the table because the craziest and the best way energy came through. So my orange sorbet, why did you meet this person? Confirming whether or not it's for love, trying to see the karma and the outcome, where we're asking about someone specific. Unless you know you're asking about something that just was not good, you're not in the right pile yet. Just give me a second to find the shadow if it comes through. If you're picking this specifically with a shadow in mind, sit tight, because the priority is what's coming in, if that's the case, because everything is love and light and everything. We got an angel here with bread, literally an angel here with bread. And this deck is not always friendly to me, but it says, look, spiritual guidance, protection from harm, and a period of prosperity and abundance. And this person, if we're talking about somebody you're already, like somebody specific, you'll know when this person came in, things got really good for you. Like it was a period of prosperity for you. Or this person coming in will signify a period of prosperity. They will come in as you're stepping into this energy, or they will usher you into this era, like a literal angel. That's who's coming in, okay? And I say that because at the bottom here, I have a tantric journey, right? It says unlocking hidden knowledge and wisdom, okay? And it talks about reaching a state of wholeness. And it is a reference to sexual experiences, okay? So obviously this person's coming in for that reason. But what I want you to see here is at the bottom of your reset for the tarot, you've got the angel here. So we've got 2 angels on the table. Yeah, exactly. Number 2 could be relevant, but like we have an angel here, an angel here. Like this is someone, your guardian angel, if you use those words. I'm going to use it because that's the language that came out. A new romantic cycle begins, right? The scales, and an angel, like a quite literal angel. This person may have Libra placements, okay? Does not have to, because the sign of Libra rules our 7th house of our contracts, our one-on-one partnerships, the deals we made and commit to support one another, okay? So let me move this. I'm going to get you an overview. But like I said, if you came here with some shadow in mind, like why did that happen? Who was that? That's in the past. Okay. Like if the shadow comes out, I'll read it, but I don't think it will, just because of the cards that we came out. So like that's in the past. You pick another pile for that chaotic energy, because pile 3, this orange sorbet, is talking about an angel that is coming in or that you've already met. And remember, this person signifies an era of prosperity. They're ushering in an era of prosperity. It may be 2 people, yeah. It may be a romantic and platonic soulmate coming in, or I know some of you be like polygamy. I don't know nothing about that, but if that's you, you're in your right place, right space. The dominant energy here is going to be 1 romantic, 1 platonic, okay? Or maybe the shadow is going to come out. We got a number 10 of authority. It says, it reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. And this is, that authority card feels like confirmation. Like this person is confirmation of who you are and your prosperous era. Like they are the authority that is ushering you in. I don't know why, I don't know how. Okay. Some of you, you're meeting this person at the authority says. Like, why did you meet this person? Very directly, your guardian angel, spirit, guide said. That's why. Like, this is a big energy of like, this is a person that was pushed to you, quite literally, or you were pushed to this person. I've got the root chakra, the authority, grounded, the energy. You may be seeing repeating ones. You may be seeing 101, but the authority, your higher power source said. That's why. The end. It's the epitome of because I said so. That's why. That's why you met this person. And something about grounding you, right? And stabilizing you, but not in a shadow scary way, in the best way. So, but it's so serious. It's like, because I grounded it, because I made it so, right? It feels so like Old Testament. I'm not gonna lie, for those of you in those religious paths. But I've got earth. So I've got the root chakra, earth, and authority. Okay, because I made it so. So I don't know what spirit guide, ancestor, intermediary, higher power is associated with your religion, but you met this person because they said so. The end. In the best way. So tell me more about this orange sorbet. You were always meant to ground in the 3D with this person. So like if you're the type that believes in like the spirit world and all of that, and the spirits convoluting and congregating, like, oh, we're gonna go down and I'm gonna meet you, I'm gonna be with you, marry you, y'all gonna come down as our kids. Like, you know, when people word it and phrase it like that, it feels like 100% that's what that is, right? So tell me more. But I do still get a wave of 2, especially since 2 came out. Why did you meet this person? 2. So I was actually gonna say like those of you, if we get to the point where we see it's true union and there's like contracts with babies and such, because I'm looking for that as well, it's twins, it's 2 kids. Okay, so the waiting game, it was always gonna happen. This meeting, and then it was always gonna happen, and it was always going to happen right as the brink of this success. Okay, we've got wands. So 6 of wands is where there's a parade. It's a victory. Look, it's a victory. Yeah, exactly. It's a victory. It's where we're praised. It's where we're celebrated. It's where we're really popular and people appreciate us and tell us where we're doing really good. Where you've been waiting for that energy, where you've been waiting for that validation, this person kind of signifies that era for you, where you kind of finally start reaping the harvest of your efforts. So Not taking all of that. Give me one more. Two more. Okay, finally, we got a little pile where we're talking about some divine masculine energy. The first two had divine feminines coming through. So look at this. Okay, meeting this person is meant to awaken a divine masculine. Yeah, exactly. Someone that may not know who they are. Okay, someone that may be selling themselves short in the worst way. When we talk about, you know how people that are not in their power, they're in their shadow self, they may lie, they may manipulate, they may steal. If this is that energy of that masculine, this is to stop that. All of you are not going to resonate with that message, but where we have a masculine that is very underdeveloped in their shadow expression, this is the awakening of that to stop. Okay, let me see what's at the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Passion ignited. All this fire energy. Aries is more recognition and reward. We have an energy of Aries coming onto the table. The Emperor is ruled by the sign of Aries, and then we also have cardinal energy in the Ace. Okay, so this is someone. Okay, this connection, you're meeting each other to inspire the masculine, whoever that is on the table. Look at me. Something's off balance, something's crooked, okay? And it honestly, some of you, it's this masculine. So I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but it's to awaken that and to stop that energy. So let me see. Hold on. Let me straighten up just a little bit. All right. So what is this? Tell me more about what's going on for my pile 3. My orange sorbet. Why did you meet this person? What is the karma, the outcome of this? Okay. All 4 of those, I guess. I've got, you're very close to achieving your goal. I'm telling you. So like the telltale sign is you met this person, you're meeting this person, will meet this person right on the brink of some type of success. Okay? Like this person stepping in right as you're like right there. And like, I don't see this person stepping in before. I see this person kind of being the horseman that kind of is the foreshadowing clue of it, especially when we talk about rare opportunities, when we talk about things that are rare, things that are almost miraculous in nature. We did have the angel in multiple representations. When we're talking about not letting your past hold you back in the South Node, we're talking about communicating in Gemini energy. And you know, this is a person that will make you aware of where you've held yourself back in the past and to not do that and to step out of your comfort zone, right? Because this is definitely this is a past life connection. So when we talk about why'd you meet this person, because it's already a past life connection. Somebody you've been with at some point. If you believe in past lives, you were with them either in a past life, previous past life, one before that, possibly multiples, right? Y'all probably have been doing this dance for lifetimes, okay? Many, many lifetimes. So, what is this? You're good enough. Moon Virgo. Okay, so the point of this one is to see if y'all gonna do it for real this time in this life. Oh, I almost said this year, by the way, to see if y'all gonna do it for real this year. The whole point of this person stepping in is to see if y'all are gonna like actually do it in this life. Y'all gonna be in union in this life. Is this gonna be the lifetime where it happens? Because it feels like that's what this is. And look, I mentioned too, some of y'all are supposed to have twins. Okay? Like some of y'all are supposed to have twins. That's why I keep getting that. Okay, let me pull from this other deck. What's this? You know, it makes sense because Virgo and Gemini are sister signs. That's what they call them. They're both ruled by the planet of Mercury. So, like, some of y'all are supposed to have, like, more than one kid, okay? So tell me why you met this person for my orange sorbet. Sagittarius, growth, expansion, evolution. I mean, that's why you met this person. And every time I ask the question, that's what jumps out. So, I mean, I should have known it was going to be sassy when the first message was because I said so. I should have known that, but and to have these children. You know what? I've never noticed that my house 4 has 2 eggs. There's 2 children, okay, on my table. Cultural, family roots, home, peace, and comfort. Okay. To have those, to lay those eggs. The end. Okay. Those eggs. I got Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. And I'm not going to lie to you. Pisces here feels like there's more to it, this connection, than you're allowed to know, to understand, which makes sense because, again, it feels like you two have connected many lifetimes before. It's just that this is the one where it's finally supposed to, like, they're trying to see if y'all going to act right this time. Okay. I know I started out with this beautiful energy because it is. It's like being sent an angel. But something... It's making sure, you know, the month of April could be relevant in some way. So what is this person? What's the karma, the outcome of this situation? Is that same month, November? Okay. That's the beginning of Sagittarius season. So if we're talking about someone with Sagittarius placements, you're in your right place, right space. Maybe one of these children will be born in November and will be a Sagittarius. Look at me telling all y'all's business. Good fortune. I don't take these in reverse unless I have to, if I'm being honest. I have a beetle of good fortune, okay? Now, November will bring good fortune, especially if there hasn't been, okay? It feels like someone that if they had been on hard times, or if you had been on hard times, part of the meeting is the foreshadowing of that prosperous era. Remember I mentioned it's an angel meeting this person, or this person stepping in is the beginning of a prosperous, fortunate era, which feels like November is relevant. But something about Sagittarius energy, okay, especially after unsuccessful plans. Okay, disappointment in some affair with scissors. In a candle, you will be shown the way. This person's meant to step in and show you where you've not been doing the way you need to be doing to see the success you want. I feel like I've said it so many times. But I have good fortune, right, in November. And we had unsuccessful plans. We had some disappointments, but a candle is lighting the way. Okay, like this person is like a candle lighting the way. So let me get a couple more from this deck. Got another stack, and then I'll pull from on top and get your advice for my orange sorbet. What's the karma, the outcome? Success after trying, after multiple times of seeing failure. Like if after failing multiple times, you'll finally see some success. Okay. I'll take those two because they slipped out, but it says November you'll see some success after a lot of hardships. It says beware of self-delusion though, okay, with the dragon. Show me more with the orange sorbet. You need like 2 more. Okay, so there's 1. Okay, and these 2. All right. Cracked cup. Dissatisfaction with life. I'm telling you, right on the brink. You'll be dissatisfied with something. Something will not be feeling like it's working. And then this person's going to step in. And right after they step in, it's almost going to feel like they brought all the good luck. If that makes sense. That's what it looks like. Okay. When we talk about incoming energy. I'll make that up, right? Great good fortune with that 4-leaf clover, a new home, a new attitude. Like, yeah, they're gonna bring so much good luck. You're gonna have a new house, a new home, even if you don't need one, right? Archway feels like a nicer type of home, a nicer type of property, because it says new opportunities, possibilities, and paths opening up, right? Opportunities showing up you didn't even have access to previously. You don't know where these opportunities are coming from. Feeling lucky with blue moon, things just working out after not in September. So September to November is a thing, okay? Okay. All right, so let me get Mel and Pop, see what we're doing here, especially when we're talking about your career. So that's a huge deal. So I don't know that it's funny because sometimes I see marriage, sometimes I see kids, sometimes I see both. Here I see 2 kids. Specifically, some of you it's going to be twins with this person when we talk about romance. Some of you may have twins after thinking you could not have children. That may catch you off guard, okay? But we got fireworks, which says celebration, passion, loud, light, fire, brightness. Something about this person and the karma, the outcome is being celebrated. Maybe that's the wedding and I'm just not catching it because it feels so public. It feels so outside, right? Like this is like the 6 of Wands is a parade. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like it's where we're being celebrated in a parade for something we've done well. And we have fireworks, which is also outside. So I guess where this ends in marriage, it's like an outside festivities type of wedding. Okay. It's definitely going to be a home, a new home. Okay. So tell me what's the karma, the outcome. Let's just get to that part of this connection. Power. Okay, so where's that self-delusion? We got self-delusion. We got a red flag here. So what is that? Now we got to clarify because the shadow did step out. Dragons may be relevant. You may be seeing dragons or puppets or things that you may associate with the voodoo energy. So what are we doing here? I got a performer. What is this shadow that just stepped out? Oh yeah, we're going a little bit over, but I don't like leaving it like that after it came out. Oh, never mind. It's fine. Watch it though where you are forcing connections. Don't force a connection. That's why I was leading with the light being incoming. Let that come in. It's going to come in. This person's going to foreshadow all of the things. Don't try to align a person with this energy that doesn't fit. That's why they kept making me say, hey, this person's going to come in right before you glow up and things start working out well. It's going to feel like this person almost made that happen for you. Okay, but it's going to be a true glow up and happiness and success. Not fake and fabricated like you tried to manifest it, okay? Because the lighter side here is the karma, the outcome is going to be exactly what you've been trying to manifest for romance, for your life. Like the things you've been wanting to be successful at, you'll be able to manifest all of that in this union. That's why it's like that. And I do have a powerful woman. That's why that came out like that. I was wondering. Okay. But don't try to manipulate the reading to fit your desires. Like, oh yeah, this is that person. Knowing that leading up, right? Did this person, when this person stepped in, were you doing better or did you start doing worse? You see what I'm saying? Because if you started doing worse, that's not them. If you started doing better, yeah, it's probably who you're asking about. Okay, that's how it goes. So let me get your advice. Lock you down. If you feel like you've lost life, been drained in life, that's not them. Like, you have something good coming in, but it's not them. The shadow, the karma is, it's a karmic cycle in the shadow. And you're kind of avoiding that and trying to manipulate your reading so that it's this person. Go to the other piles if you have a shadow that you're avoiding. Go to the other readings, but this is a lighter side of incoming energy, or I'm confirming that this person stepped in right before you like had a glow up. Okay. All right. And if that hasn't happened, they're telling you that's where they want your attention. You're going to have a glow up right before, not right before. You're going to meet this person. Then things are going to just start going well to the point where maybe you start aligning all of the good things happening to you with meeting this person. Elixir of life is back. This person is going to give you life. Lean into where it's giving you life and not draining it, okay? I have a collective message that talks about the elixir of life that may be for you. If you're interested, you can find it on the channel. But prioritize what fuels you and what uplifts you, okay? And then step into leadership. You know, there's a lot of power. I got the Emperor, I got the powerful woman. All of the genders are on the table right now, stepping into leadership and being fueled by life. Okay, so chase your power, chase your purpose. And I'm going to close you out now. All right, my pile number 4, my Matcha Sorbet. We're going to see why you met this person. We're going to confirm if it's for love. And then we're going to see just the karma, the outcome of the overall connection, okay? I don't know what you're experiencing or who you're asking about. I did get a wave of a lot of negativity. I put those cards back because I don't want to lead with that. But it was like temporary problems, things not going right. I had the rat, which is like people you can't trust, like a pest, somebody's like out to get you. So I don't know what that's all about. I have earth here, which talks about grounding. So that may be the lesson of teaching you how to ground through it all. But I did see temporary, so that was optimistic for me. So tell me, and I said it in all the other piles, yes. You can be asking about a specific person, but this can be used for those of you that just want to know what's coming in, like who's coming towards you and why. So let's see. Give me an overview for my Matcha. Okay. An incoming energy of change. And it talks about gracefully dancing with the forever changing nature of reality, right? The only thing that is constant is, in fact, change. Okay. So that's why you met this person, is to teach you how to embrace change, whether we're talking about changing perceptions, perspectives, all of the above, okay? I've got authority at the bottom, which talks about certainty and discernment, if I'm being honest. So where we direct our power and we're clear in how we're doing that, like being very clear in our decision making and things like that, and also being able to change perspective. So some of you may have had a negative perception of this person initially, and now as part of the karmic journey is to change your perspective and see this person for who they really are. Okay, so tell me, especially if you have a history of not trusting people and not being able to trust people, feels like a person that you didn't or won't trust initially. That's probably why you're like, why did I meet this person? Because you probably like, I don't trust them. Who is that? And if not, you will be initially. This person may trigger some trauma in you initially. All right. Yeah, I've got the sacrifice, which is the hanged man, which does talk about the unseen, right? It's ruled by the sign of Pisces, where we can't see aspects of ourselves and other people, right? Because it rules hidden allies and hidden enemies. So this person may secretly be an ally of yours, and you're not going for it because you're not really comprehending their energy. Okay. The 3 of Pentacles talks about recognition and reward. Actually, I'm just catching on that you have 2 12s here. So 12 could be something like some type of important number, like a birthday or something like that, and they both reduce to 3. So something about those numbers is going to be relevant to this incoming person and their energy. I have the throat chakra, which is communication. That's fine. I'll let that hang out there like that so I can have the space. And the memories of love. You will reflect on, okay, so those of you where we're talking about incoming energy, you know how you're like, trying to see who's incoming. This is someone that you're going to wonder after the fact. Like, you may come back to this reading to see why you met this person when you meet them, if you haven't. Because this is 100% energy of you wondering why you met somebody historically. Okay? And I'm not saying it's someone you don't know anymore. I'm not saying it was chaotic and toxic. I'm just saying there's memories of love. Honestly, there's a wave of actually realizing, like, hey, you know what? That person wasn't that bad. I kind of did like them a little bit, in reflecting on it. Right? So tell me more. What is that? And it is to teach you to learn discernment, to teach you to shift your perception of people, right? As you're interacting with them. So tell me about this matcha sorbet, please, for my pile number 4. Why did they meet this person? Give me more about why they met this person. Time to give rather than take. Okay, and full moon in Gemini, the answers you need to. You're gonna find out. I'm okay. Look at you. I'm very intrigued by this energy. This matcha is something. So full moon in Gemini could be a thing that will be in the fall. Virgo is the end of summer. Okay, so that could be relevant times of the year for you regarding the person you're asking about or when this person steps in. But the answers you need are coming. A time to give rather than take. Part of the journey is you having to, I don't say eat your words, because I don't even know that you spoke on this person. Some of you did speak on this person in a very negative way. But like, see where this person, like part of this is learning communication and learning grace. Right? Sacrifice feels a little bit like grace, where you are not as, you can't just, everything is not final. Your perception of somebody isn't final. Even if it's someone that was like that, however you perceive them. Because this might actually be the group that circles back, encounters someone again, because now you have to change your perception of them. And then you have to accept that, hey, this person is different, or hey, this person is different from what I thought, what I perceived them to be. Doesn't have to be romantic, but a lot of you, most of you, it is, because while I've not read this like this before, I know what energy this is because it keeps coming out in certain piles of I keep getting a message of people kind of overlooking their next opportunity for love or something like that. And this 100% aligns with that. So yeah, I got a mutable energy, which both of those, actually all 3, full moon in Gemini happens during Sagittarius, so, and Pisces. Boom. So you and or this person may have mutable placements. So that's Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. All are here 2 times. A conjunction though. Surrendering, sacrificing for the sake of a union. That's the lesson. That's the karmic lesson, is surrendering and sacrificing for the sake of a union. Not sacrificing yourself, but being willing to change and grow. But you're going to get clarity. Okay. I got the house 8. So this is 100% going to be a union with the 8th house synastry. But that's a very intense house. So if you Google 8th house synastry, you'll know what I mean. I'm not going to go into detail. But it's a huge thing where we talk about changing, transforming, and being reborn. Okay. I actually think I had a pile earlier where like, it's like this person's not the same person or something like that. It could have been a different reading, but this, if you pick both piles, definitely the case. Okay. Totally different person. So let me see. Some of you are going to match really well with this person because, okay, look how astrologers are stepping in, because you're both mutable in nature. I don't know how that's going to work out astrologically or what happens with your charts, but along with 8th house placement, some of you have both, like both of you have dominant or key mutable placements that align well. Okay. Now, my matcha sorbet, I'm going to see now what is the karma outcome of the situation, because it feels like this is just one that's destined for union. Okay. Like, I don't see all of the other stuff that I saw in the other piles. I see union though. Okay. So what is this? I got dogs, getting together with friends. So some of you may be asking about a friend. Good for you. June is a relevant month. Could be a birthday, things like that. And I got a finger, and it says warning you of a problem either now in the near future. This is someone that, regardless of love, this is someone that is warning you, that wants to warn you of any issues, any danger. Okay, it feels like someone that initially comes in as friendly. Okay, four-leaf clover is back. Pile 4, so good fortune. This is someone that immediately will come in and care about how well you do, will care about your good fortune. Okay, will care about your bag. Could be financial, but could also just be career-wise, right? Because it says something important, such as a new job or raise. Okay, and the outcome is, could be a good job, a new job and a raise, right? Like, I feel like that's part of the early stages of karma. So what is this? A jug, lighthearted, carefree time. What's the karma? I got a dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. You're my evening pal, so it's fine. We got it. But memories of love. This is past energy. I think it's raining now, actually. But financial gain from something you did in the past. Right? And then we have a gong of an exciting event. So something about an exciting event. Being rewarded for something you did in the past. Being elevated in that way. Being lucky in that way. Tell me the outcome. Let's just go straight to the outcome. Feels like you two benefiting each other. I got a spear. Heartache over what you no longer have. Okay. And a mountain road. You're on the road to success. That's contradictory energy. So I was about to say, when I just saw the spear, I was going to say this is an energy of it's going to be short term. But I don't think that it is. That's the weird part. Even if it is, it's more than one short term, because it says heartache over what you no longer have. And part of the karma, part of the outcome is the loss, I guess, or the distance that pushes you towards success. Okay? I'm talking about you, because like it's supposed to inspire you, it's supposed to encourage you, it's supposed to motivate you. I got a cat of a two-faced friend and a vase that is a secret admirer. Somebody is two faces. You know, Gemini energy is considered to be two-faced in a shadow sense. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. I'm gonna pull two more because I don't want to leave it like that. That's so vague. Two-faced friend and a secret admirer. Some of you have a two-faced friend on the table. I don't know who that is. Keeping life in balance. Two-faced friend may be a Libra. Okay. Trying to play both sides. I don't know who that would be, but there's a Libra playing both sides here. And that's why we have that in the month of August. Okay. I think this happens in August, that new moon in Virgo, but there's so much going on. We got happiness of flowers, the money path, frustration, long journey. Okay, so this all tells me, I was just trying to catch myself and get myself together so I could finish reading this part. Part of the disillusionment, the changing of perspectives, the not trusting, the confusion, oh, I think I kind of like that person after the fact, or whatever it all, how it happened, is a part of the journey. Like, it is motivation to push you where you're supposed to go, to what you're supposed to be doing. if that's how that went. Like, even if it ends up short term, even if it does not end up, because it's house 8, could it mean that it's not, because there's 3 groups of you, and I'm sorry that I cannot clean it up because we don't have that kind of time. There is a group where that person was supposed to launch you, right, where you kind of, it's over with, and that was the lesson that's helping elevate you so that you're more open-minded going forward. And then there's another group of you where the union is supposed to happen, where you're supposed to awaken after the fact, because that's supposed to teach you discernment, and then elevating and whatever, I don't know, the circling back, however works out for you. And then there's a third group of you where it's definitely raining. There's a third group of you where it just kind of like windfall of success. Happens as you're around this person, and that confirms it for you. Does that make sense? All right, so let me give me this melanin pop. What's the outcome for my pile number 4, my matcha sorbet? Okay, this one wants to be red. Oops, my bad, y'all. The scales is here. So union. So I think they wanted me to shut up and stop saying that there wasn't union. There is a group of you where marriage is gonna happen, okay? Because this is the scales of balance. But there is still a two-faced friend, maybe someone with a cat, okay? But I do have a Libra somewhere that's relevant, okay? And I got a trophy wife here, so give me more. What is the outcome for this connection? The dominant energy, please. We got a gift. Material, spiritual gifts. Okay. Okay, so the lightest expression of this, even if initially there's like a, oh, you thinking about, you like this person after the fact, you're interested in this person after the fact. I don't know how that, why y'all keep bringing this energy to me. And you're looking back on this because you realize you perceived someone the wrong way. Some of you are going to get the gift of union some kind of way. I don't know how. That's not the question. But you're going to get a gift of union where it's a possibility, right? Like sometimes that's just tea and gossip. Okay. In the situation, okay, this is a very specific situation. What is that? I gotta tell you this real quick though, because it's so specific. Where someone like, okay, you misread this person's energy, okay, and maybe you listen to some gossip. I got Christmas time. It could have been an ugly sweater contest. Could have been I'm facing y'all. Those like at work where we do the exchanging, the mystery gifts, right? We exchange gifts and we don't tell who got what. Anyway, this person gave you a gift and you just was like, I don't want nothing to do with that. Whatever situation that is, I feel like that's the closing of the cycle. Because why that came out like that. And then I put it on top of the past. So some of y'all might have been mean to this person. I don't know. Let me see. Tell me what's going on with this matcha sorbet. Yeah. I think the loss is supposed to be healing and supposed to make you reevaluate the way you interact with people. Okay? On that furthest end of the shadow. Because now I have a just friend. So whether you friend zone this person or now you've been put in a category of this person has no romantic interest in you, That was a lesson. I feel like I've read it before, but I cannot tell you where I saw that. So what I want to do though is I want to really quick go back to the lighter side. And ironically enough, now that it's raining outside and dark, right? Tell me about this matcha sorbet. What is the outcome, and how do they know? Being open and receptive to something new. Learning that. Okay. What is that? Being open and receptive to something new. Letter A could be relevant. So what's the third thing? Being open and receptive to something new. Okay, that's the union. Got it. Being open and receptive to something new leads to union. You being open and receptive to something new, different, unfamiliar, is going to bring you back. Red flags could be a shadow, but it doesn't feel like it here. It feels like blatantly obvious energy and just being open to change. Okay? Because some of you, this person was warning you. That's the red flag. Because I got it somewhere on here before that maybe this person was warning you in some way. And you were just so, I won't say prejudiced against this person. Because some of you, maybe it really was literally like that. But it just feels like so different. Whether it was sexuality based. Whether it was, and obviously that would be platonic if there's an incompatibility with sexual orientation. But something about this person was just so different that it threw you off, that you felt like red flags. But like, even the way I laid this out, that's where the union is where there's some open-minded nature. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting out of this because this is a foggy pile. So let me get your advice. Close your out for my pile number 4. Equilibrium. Maintain balance and be fair. Okay, like maintain balance and be fair. I probably should have put the light on, but it's over with now. Like it just is. And be confident in who you are. Right? Be confident in who you are as you try to be fair, as you be balanced, and look at people, right? Because some of this Libra energy, because some of that two-faced energy was you, right? Keeping yourself in balance and being in equilibrium with confidence. Because if you were more open-minded, some of you wouldn't have been as two-faced regarding this person, and you wouldn't have missed that opportunity. Okay, but some of you get the opportunity to grow beyond that, and some kind of way it works out. I have other readings on the channel, and I will be doing this one again, so you'll be able to find your place, your space soon. But for now, I am going to close you out. Thank you so much for watching.